Hi friends, thank you so much for coming back to craft with me today, and welcome if you're new here. My name is Alyssa. Today we're just going to be making this super easy folio from a paper bag, and this was just something really quick and easy, probably doesn't even need a tutorial, but I just threw this together and I wanted to share it with you guys. So my cover here has love you on it with some stickers, and I did tie this shut with some trim here. So I'll untie that, and you can see my little side pocket here from the paper bag holds this card. It says look forward. And then we'll open it up, and I just put some stickers here on the inside, and I have one more little card here that you can pull out and journal on. So obviously this was like the top of the paper bag, and I turned that into some pockets. And then over here I just have a vellum pocket, and I made this card, make it count. You could do a little more journaling on there. And that just flips open as well. I have friendship makes life more beautiful here in the middle, and I just washi taped that on. And then I just put a little sticky here on this panel. And I also included just one small little top loading pocket here, and that just holds this little piece that says believe in yourself, and you could write in there as well. And I added a flower, of course, to the corner there. So it's a simple little trifold folio, and then there's the back there. And of course, I just added this trim to tie it shut because it kind of just, it could get bulky. So that's an option as well if you want to do something like that. But go ahead and grab a paper bag and some scraps, and we can create one of these together. So I'm going to be using just a regular brown paper bag. These are from the Dollar Tree, and the size is right here in case you are wondering. But I'm just going to take one of those, and I'm going to be holding it this way. So this bottom part here is going to be on the right, and there's no scoring involved. You can really just eyeball it. So I take the bottom part here, and there's already kind of like a crease right here. So that's just where I'm going to fold it. So kind of just fold the bottom part over like that. And then I fold the left part over, and you can really fold it over as far as you want to. So I want to do probably maybe like have 3 inches of it over here on this side. All right, so that's about 3 inches wide. So I'm just going to crease it there. And that's literally all that I'm doing to create this folio. So it'll open this way and like that. Now, I do want to kind of just open up this part here and pop some glue just on the crease on the inside here, because I want this to be obviously a pocket, and I don't want anything to go past the fold line here. So I'm gonna glue that on the inside, which is kind of hard to show you, but we're just gonna open that up and pop some glue here. See that crease line sort of in the inside? And we'll just flatten this back out and flatten that area. And now all I'm going to do is cover everything up. I don't even like glue this part down or anything like that. I did create a top loading pocket here, like in the middle panel. So I actually am going to open up the gusset and then just glue along the crease here and here. just like that. Press that down as well. And then, I mean, you could even make a small little pocket or have this be a small pocket here too and here. Okay, so I'm gonna just fold it up this way, and I'm gonna start on the outside here on this flap. So for that, I'm just going to grab 2 little scraps here. So this is really great to use up your scraps. And they are just going to be 2 3/4 wide by 4 3/4 tall. And all of the scraps I'm using for this one are from my Mariposa stack or Mariposa paper pad. So I think this one I'll just stick here. So you get that border from the paper bag. And then I'll flip that open, and then you just need one more for the other side. So this one I already added some paper and a sticker there. And that'll just go here. And actually just make sure that you don't glue your pocket shut if you have like this part here. And for my first one, I did actually go ahead and notch this whole entire flap. So if you want to do that, you can. So I'll just use my 2-inch punch here. All right, so that way it looks like that from the front. And then you've got your pockets in here. All right, and then let's move on now to the right side here that flips open. So for those, you're going to need 2 pieces that are 3 inches wide by 4 3/4 of an inch tall. So those are my 2. Obviously, one's going to go here, and then one's going to go on the back. And for this panel here, I did create a vellum pocket in my first one, so I think I'll do the same thing here. So I just took a piece of scrap vellum, and I basically just eyeballed it, kind of make sure there's like a border here so that you can just fold the excess vellum over your patterned paper. So I'm just going to glue the sides here on the back of my paper and then fold over my vellum. Let's move that aside for a bit. And I'm just going to cut out the corners here a little. And then just fold this part over as well. And really, it doesn't matter, obviously, what the back looks like. So that'll just give us a nice little vellum pocket there, and then I can go ahead and glue this entire thing onto that panel. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gluing it here to this side. I want it on this side here. Okay, you know what? Take my other piece and just pop that on top of my glue. Okay, now I want my vellum pocket here. On this side. So that's what it's going to look like. Okay, now moving on to this middle section. This is just 4 1/4 wide by 4 3/4 tall. So I have 2 of those as well, one for here and then one for the back. And I think I did actually make these a little bit less than 4/4 of an inch or 4 1/4 of an inch wide. So just play around with it, but I think it's a little bit less. Okay, so anyway, this one here says, with brave wings she flies. Love this print here. Isn't that gorgeous? So here I'm just gonna glue this piece right into the middle. Okay, so there we have that. And then for the back, again, same size, but if you want to add some trim to tie this shut, whoops, that one's a bit too short. You could add some trim and then cover that up with your paper in the back, or just cover this and then tie it with trim without, attaching the trim to the booklet. So, oh wow, these are all cut, I think. Okay. I think this should be a good size. Usually I just eyeball the length of trim or string that I want, but I think this one should be long enough. So anyway, first I'm just going to figure out where I want to tie this, because I am going to glue this down to my booklet. So you could have it tie wherever you want. I had mine kind of tied in a bow like here, but you could do it in the middle. Yeah, maybe I'll just do mine in the middle here. So what I'm gonna do is, in fact, I'm just gonna pop glue all over the back of this. And then I will put my trim down in the middle. And then I'll place my paper over top. Try to get all my edges there. All right, let's move the sticky. And let's make sure that I actually have enough trim here. All right, so I'll just tie this. Maybe it'll go off to the side here, like that. I mean, I should have enough. That looks really ugly right now, but I just want to make sure. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And then you can fill up your folio with whatever you want, like journaling cards, photos, and fun things like that. So this one I'm going to stick into my pocket here. Open that up, and I have this little guest check, and I added a tab here and some flowers. So that's going to go here into this side pocket. Please tell me this fits. All right, there we go. So you could really put a lot of things in this pocket area. And then in my vellum pocket here, I just have this tag with a butterfly. It does say milkweed butterfly here in that gold foiling. So I added a butterfly. And the inside's pretty much all set. I do have this other little piece here. This is something you could write on as well, or write on in the inside. But I put this little envelope out there and a small little tag, just because, why not? And that's just going to go into this pocket here, which is just the gusset, so it's not a very deep pocket, so that's why I have this tiny little piece to poke out there. And again, you could stick some other little pieces in here, but that's how I made my folio. So now I'm just going to tie this up and see if I need to, or see if I want to add anything else to my cover. So I'm actually going to tie my bow like holding this upside down, because every time I tie it like the correct way, like this way, my bow ends up upside down. So I'm just going to flip this thing upside down and hopefully my bow will be right side up, if that makes any sense. Okay, there we go. See, so now my bow is the right way. All right, so I will just cut off some of the excess here. And that's going to be my cover, which I really don't think it needs much else. Maybe I will stick a sticker up here or down here. Let me see what I have. I do have these from Dollar Tree. I feel like this contrasts nicely with the color of my cover. So maybe I'll just add some flowers down below here. And I'll have this flower poking out at the top. Okay, and then the bow, of course, is part of the decoration for the front too. So that's my little folio made from a paper bag. Super simple and easy. Really didn't need a tutorial. You don't have to think about it too much, but I figured I would show you guys anyway, just to maybe give you some inspiration and give you a quick and easy project to do. So thank you so much for joining me today, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more crafty fun and inspiration, and leave me a comment down below so I can say hi to you. Other than that, I will see you all in my next video. So happy crafting and huge hugs until then.